You know, you know what? Like, I need to be honest. I need to say sorry to Frank Lampard. I don't know why, but for some reason I was very cynical about this upcoming game against Spurs. I was thinking with our recent form and against Mourinho, you know, a Mourinho team that has a very strong team, a very physical team. They have all the components that we've typically tended to struggle against this season. So I was thinking this is going to be a bit of a slog. Then we saw the lineup, and then it got me thinking differently. It made me think this lineup feels very considered. This lineup feels like there's a plan. And of course there was a plan. Frank Lampard completed a tactical masterclass over Mourinho again. It's not the first time he's beaten Mourinho. Let's not forget that derby win against Man United. Incredible performance today. Just really seeing what the game plan was, how well executed it was as well. It was really incredible, and I've got so much to talk about. Big praise today, you guys. Some stand-up performances from guys like Mason Mount. Credit to Willian. I honestly feel you guys like we need to give this guy a rest. As I've said before, every single time there's a new season, sometimes you need to give players the benefit of the doubt again. You know, with new tactical ideas, new training methods, new ways of playing, etc., etc., new players to play with. Of course, that can bring out new positives in players, or maybe even negatives. One thing for sure is though, Willian, I'm seeing things in him that I never knew he had. I'm sorry, like the leadership, the way he just drives the team, how he leads the team by example, testament. He works so hard off the ball, he works hard offensively and defensively as well, and he makes sure that people are constantly doing what they need to do. It's no surprise why Lampard respects the player so much, and I think it's about time that us fans do now, because Willian tonight was absolutely incredible. Took his first goal extremely well. Classic Willian, and you know, it does make you think, and it's something I've posted for on this channel for so many years. If Willian had the opportunity to play down the left-hand side, because his instincts have always been to cut inside and take shots. He's that type of winger. If he had those opportunities, what could have happened to him? Who knows? It's not completely the end of the world though, because currently we are seeing a Willian in prime form. I'm seeing some of the best Willian performances this season that I've never seen from him for so many years now. The last time Willian played this well was under Conte, all those years back for a small spell. So I have to say credit to Willian, he's really taken on this leadership mantle very well. And credit to Lampard today as well. But unfortunately, we can't just only speak about the football today. There's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of positives that I will be getting to, but you know, the racist incident that Rudiger suffered today, it's disappointing, you know, especially in this country. Again, another incident. Yeah, me personally, I feel like it's a reflection of modern times, which is sad. Sometimes football can't control those things, but things are starting to get a bit worrying now. And I completely agree with what Neville said. You know, we speak about racism in other countries and we expect them to get the, you know, harshest of punishments. You know, we can't be hypocrites. You know, we have to stand by this and really do this properly. You know, of course, it's a shame what Rudiger had to hear. It's a disgrace. It should be banned. Of course, that guy, whatever idiot did it, you are getting punished. The utter stupidity to even think, to have the confidence to do that nonsense. But this is what I mean by reflection of modern times. You know, bigots, racists, all these people have the confidence now. So fortunately, it's an issue that football is going to have to tackle. But anyway, you guys, before I continue on with the match review, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. If you download the app right now, you can vote for your own man of the match. Who was it today? Some of these standout performances, would you give it to Willian? Would you give it to Mason Mount? Would you give it to one of the three excellent defenders today? So many positives. If you guys want to do this, you'll find a link below in the description below. But anyway, let's talk about this lineup. Now, a lot of people are very pessimistic. When I did my call-in show earlier before the game, you know, as I was explaining before, I felt like there was a game plan today and, you know, Lampard executed it perfectly. Now, I feel like to really give credit to what Lampard did, I have to really focus on this point in tomorrow's Talking Points video. But I will briefly say the decision to use a back three, to have the two cams up against Spurs' two DMs was a masterstroke. You know, our cams were constantly in behind Spurs' midfield lines, you know, finding so many pockets of space. The Spurs defense didn't know what to do, you know, step out and deal with the man or let one of the midfield players deal with him. And it was why we were able to get our wing backs up so often throughout the game. It was why we controlled the game in Tottenham's half throughout. It was a complete tactical masterclass from Frank Lampard today. And I think at this point, it should give all of us perspective. Of course, at times, there's going to be future disappointment. There's going to be certain games where we should have done things better and it didn't work out in our favour. But we can't always hold on to those moments every single time and dismiss the positives. Because under Frank Lampard, there are so many positives and there's so many positive signs for the future. Us Chelsea fans right now, we're seeing, with us fans right now, we're seeing the infancy of, future players are going to be here for the long term. These guys are going to be collecting the yaps playing for us. We're seeing the start of this. And we have to, with us fans now, we're fortunate because we're in a position right now where we're seeing the infancy of players that could be representing this club for many years to come. So we need to accept that there are going to be mistakes coming along the way. And we have to accept that these guys are young, they need time. And this is part of the game. This is part of their development. And it should make us feel very optimistic for the future. Because as we can see right now, we can see the small signs that when things work really well for us, they exceed expectations. And sometimes when things work really well for us, we sometimes don't get the results like against City and Liverpool. These guys are showing that they do have the merits to play for this club. So let's remember to give these guys some patience. But one man today that seemed to have a lot of patience was Mourinho. I was really surprised that in the first half he didn't make any tactical adjustments. It was quite obvious that Spurs were getting overloaded in midfield. Their strikers couldn't really press us because of our back three splitting. And our back three had two guys in the pivot. We had constant passing options throughout every area of the field. It took Mourinho until the second half to react to that. And then what happened after that? Son makes a stupid mistake and, credit to Rudiger. That type of experience, you can't buy that. That's smart, that experience. Of course, people might think he made a meal of it. Kind of is, but it's the rules, you guys. Son did not have to make that stupid action that forced Rudiger to do that. Son was being dirty in the first place and Rudiger's going to react to that. That's typical. He rightly got sent off. And from that point on, we knew the game was comfortably sealed. And at that point, it was really a draining game. Of course, we'd hoped that we could get that third goal. And, at times we did threaten. But you really feel like we can be a bit toothless when it comes to finishing these opportunities. And I guess that comes down to youthful inexperience at times. And just, the standard level of some of these guys. We can't expect miracles constantly. It was a very excellent, well-executed game plan today. But I'm sure over time, we'll get much better at really burying these types of games. And I think one guy that was instrumental in all the good things we did today was Mason Mount. And I really feel like Mason Mount is just misunderstood. He's misunderstood because a lot of people haven't seen what he did for Derby or saw what he did at Vitesse, or even during the youth team days as well. That's not me being condescending. The reason why I make this point is because we're only seeing Mason Mount in Frank Lampard's system playing as a shadow striker. This hasn't been what Mason Mount's been throughout his entire career. It's a role that he's playing under Frank Lampard, and he's playing it very well. Me personally, I feel like this team needs more time playing together to really fine-tune how they break teams down in the final third. In this game today, if you wanted to see complete evidence for the struggles that Mason Mount has, this game was it. How many times was Mason Mount finding himself in good positions between the defence, outside the defence, one-on-one with the keeper? How many times? Yet how many times was he never passed to? Absolutely never ever passed to. And I have to say maybe this is down to Mason Mount's fault. Because I'm starting to realise now that he's not very vocal. He's not getting the pass that he wants. In particular, this moment with Mitchie right at the end. But Mitchie takes a ridiculous shot for no reason when he should be playing the pass into Mason Mount. Now, if that was me, I'd be absolutely fuming at Mitchie because I did all the hard work to get in that position. I busted a gut to get there and you kept your head on the floor the entire time. That's not good enough. You can't be doing that. And that's how Mount should be reacting. But instead, he showed like small signs of frustration and then just got on with what he was doing. And it is a good mentality to have, but I feel like maybe Mount needs a bit more confidence to be more vocal and really assert himself in the team. Because I feel like a lot of the hard work he does get overlooked. He doesn't receive the ball back as much as he should be, in my opinion. And in a game like this today, where he was instrumental in everything we did attacking Spurs today, it just highlighted the qualities he has and why this guy can be a very special player for this club. Of course, massive respect to the back three. Black excellence. We saw black excellence tonight, you guys. Tomori, Zuma, Rudiger. That must be by far the fastest back three in the country. And these guys together, all immaculate on the ball, all composed, play with their heads up. They don't give away stupid fouls, you know. Strong, good in the air, winning the first balls. Excellent from every single one of the centre-backs. Great to see Tomori come back. I think it made only one small mistake, and that's great to see. You know, it's been a while since he's been playing. Excellent from every single player today. I think Kane had one opportunity throughout this entire game. Completely just snuffed and shut down Spurs completely. And the most important thing is, they were constantly playing forward passes. Excellent. But anyway, you guys, you know, to give my closing thoughts so I can wrap things up, you know, the thing that really just stood out for me the most was like the symbolism for the game today. Like seeing how we're playing now compared to how Spurs played against us, you know, made me reminisce about the times on the Mourinho. You know, the times where we struggled, where games where we should be the favourites. You know, Mourinho had a very counterproductive game plan that was very negative, that wasn't very brave. And Spurs looked tepid. They looked weak. They couldn't get close to us at all. At times, this was like a training game. We completely outclassed them, and it was just like a fundamental mistake from Mourinho or the Spurs players not being up for it, or maybe we were just too good for them tonight. Who knows? But all I can say is this is why I've been dreaming that the club takes this current approach for years. You've heard me say it for so many years now, because this is the future of football. If you want to be a big club that wins, this is how you play. Not like Mourinho, not this weak, pragmatic style of football where, you know, you get no joy from the game as a fan, and the players lose hope. It was kind of like a passing of the guard, and honestly, you guys, I feel like we're in such good hands. The future is so bright. We need to be patient. We need to understand the context of this season. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you guys later.